Hello, and welcome to School to Homeschool. My name is Janae Daniels. I'm a wife, a mother of 6, and a former middle school teacher turned homeschool mom. I have kids in their 20s, all the way down to elementary age, and everything in between. Are you thinking about pulling your kids from the public school system like I did, but you are scared to death and don't know what to do next? My friends, I felt the exact same way, and you have come to the right place. I want to help your family leave the system so that you can take the hearts and minds of your children back. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, I am so behind, and you're used to getting this first thing in the morning on Mondays, and here we are, and it's not first thing in the morning. We have been scrambling, trying to get ready for Thanksgiving. And then I also have a niece getting married this coming weekend. And so I'm helping with the wedding, and we are just trying to get everything done. But I did want to hop on for just a very short podcast, because I know you're traveling. Many of you are traveling or getting ready for the holidays. And if you're anything like me, you're up to your eyeballs in all the things that come with the week of Thanksgiving. And maybe some of you are like, it's fine, we go out to Chinese, which is awesome, because I do know some families like that. And it has been a temptation in my life to do that. But I did want to hop on for just a very short podcast today. Next week, I'm excited. We're going to talk about hygge, which is a Danish term. We'll talk about what that is, why it's important to homeschooling. I felt like that's perfect as we're leading into the Christmas season officially. We started decorating this past weekend. My poor husband had to just suck it up and deal with it, because he's one who's like, no, we do not decorate until the American Thanksgiving is over, because both he and I are Americans. A friend of mine's Canadian, and he and his family were like, oh no, we're Canadian. Thanksgiving's over. Halloween's over. Now we decorate. However, my husband and I are both Americans. And so he's like, okay, we can decorate because Thanksgiving week is going to be crazy. So we decorated this past weekend. We still have a little bit to put up. And so that's what we're doing. But next week, I'm so excited to talk about hygge and what that is. And you're going to want to know, I wasn't introduced to that term. Again, it's a Danish term, until I started homeschooling. And many of you might be like, oh yeah, where have you been? I've always known about that. I didn't until I started homeschooling. And now I try to introduce this concept to other people, because it's so cool and it's so perfect for Christmas. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about that next week. The Open and Go experience, you can still get that. I'll put the link in the here in the show notes. If you haven't seen the workshop, you can watch it. It's more fun to watch it on YouTube, just because there are slides. And I'm a visual person, so that tends to help me, but you can listen to it. So I'll put links to both the podcast interview, like the podcast. Well, it was actually a workshop. So I'll put the audio link below, as well as the YouTube link, so you can watch that. I explain the Open and Go experience towards the end. But if you still want to get the Open and Go experience, if you're watching on YouTube, this beautiful village behind me is a part of the Open and Go experience. And for those of you who've already gotten the experience, I want to see your beautiful Advent village. I want to see what your kids and you have done with it. So please message me and share with me pictures, because I'm super excited to see all the fun things that your kids have done with the village. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the village right behind me. When you get it and download it, it's black and white, so you can color it how you want and print out as many copies as you want. So I'm excited to see some pictures, because some people have reached out already and said, we're starting it. And I'm so excited to see what y'all come up with. So that's available. Also, I am so sorry. People have been reaching out regarding the Etsy store, and I keep forgetting to put it in the show notes. So I'll put the link in the show notes. I'm trying to slowly add more designs and some cuter designs. It takes me a couple hours to upload one design. And so like I have to schedule my time because we're still homeschooling and I still have, life along with the podcast and everything else. You're parents, you get it, where you're like, I have only so much time in a day. So I'm preaching the choir. I know. Anyway, today what I wanted to just share with you just in a few minutes are the things that I'm really grateful for. A couple weeks ago, I talked about ways like exact things that we can do, like actionable things that we can do to help get us into a mindset of gratitude. Not like a BS mindset where like, I'm grateful for this. Okay, it feels really surface, but like legitimately put us into like a heart of gratitude. And one of the things that I had mentioned is, listing 3 things that you're grateful for every day, which I feel like but sometimes we can like list things and be pretty surface about things. And so I've been trying really hard to like really think about things that I'm grateful for and turn my heart to becoming a more grateful heart, because it changes our brain when we do it. It helps our world within our scope of our own little worlds become better, and we're much more pleasant people to be around. We're nicer homeschooling parents. We're nicer to our neighbors when we are in a mindset of gratitude. And so with Thanksgiving coming up in a few days, and having just done the podcast on things that we can do to have a more grateful heart, I decided today what I wanted to share with you was the 5 things today that I am particularly grateful for, and that have been on my heart lately. And so I'm just gonna share these 5 things, and then after that, wish you a happy Thanksgiving. But and challenge you to list some things that you're really grateful for this week, especially if you're in a situation that's really hard. Maybe you have to be with family members and you may not get along with those family members, or you're in a divorce situation and it's just hard, and maybe you don't have your kids this week. Whatever your situation, I hope that you'll be able to find things in your heart to be grateful for, especially in the hard. I think that's for me the hard. Like it's hard when I'm not in a good place to think about things that I'm grateful for, but it always helps me get into a better mental space. So with that, these are the things that I'm grateful for. First of all, I'm grateful. The 5 things, I'm just going to list 5. I could list a million, but I'm going to list 5. I'm grateful for the country that we live in. Even with all of the discord and the emotions that go around elections, no matter which side you're on, I am very grateful that we live in a country where we can debate and be able to share our thoughts and our feelings, albeit sometimes if you have certain opinions, you might feel stifled to share them because other people get really angry. But I'm grateful that we are in a country where we can disagree, and we can disagree with our government even, and we can disagree with things. I'm grateful that we have the freedoms that we do. Talking to people that are immigrants from other countries is always humbling for me. I had that opportunity a couple months ago. We were in Florida. We went on a little cruise, my husband and I. It was actually a business cruise, so poor him because he had to work on the cruise, but I enjoyed it. And it was a shorter cruise, but our Uber driver taking us to the cruise had immigrated here a few years ago, and he told us what he had come from. And he was from Cuba, and he shared what he went through and his life. And for him, he's like, this is the greatest country in the world. And with what I've experienced in my life, I'm so grateful to raise my children here and to be here and to be safe and not be afraid, and just all of these things. And it just reiterated in my heart, like, we take for granted our beautiful freedoms. And so I'm really grateful for this country today. Second thing I'm grateful for is my health. You guys, I've shared this on the podcast before. I walk regularly, right? I do that for my brain. I exercise is secondary as far as that goes. I started working out in May of 2023. May 1st, I started working with trainers. At first, I only did strength training like 1 day a week, and then we moved it up to 2 days a week. And I was recording my food, and for the last year and a half, I've worked really, really hard. I'm up to 5 days a week of strength training. Not that I'm always perfect about 5 days, but I really try hard to get all 5 days in of strength training and walking every day. And I got on the scale yesterday morning, and I started in May of May 1st of 2023 at 229 pounds. And yesterday morning I got on the scale and I weighed in at 141.9 pounds. And I have less than 6 pounds left to get to my goal weight. And I haven't been this weight since I was in my 20s. I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional. It's been really hard, and it's not actually been hard. It's just been more of a mental battle than anything, to that every time I would fall down and miss strength training, to pick myself back up and then go the next day. Or when I ate more cookies than I should have, to go, okay, just because I screwed up today, like right now, doesn't mean that I have to screw up in 2 hours. And it's been a really hard journey. I'm almost to my goal weight, but y'all, I fit into a size 6'8", and I haven't, like, even in high school, I didn't fit in a 6'8". I get in later in my 20s, I did for a little bit, and then I met my husband, and then I had kids. And since having kids, I haven't been this low, and I feel so good. Like, my legs don't hurt anymore, and my hips don't hurt anymore, and my lower back doesn't hurt anymore. And I went to Target and put on a pair of size 8 pants, and then I could squeeze into a 6, and I was in the dressing room and I almost started crying. And because I think part of I look in the mirror and I don't see a fat person anymore. And my body mass index is no longer overweight or obese. It was obese for so long. It was actually morbidly obese, if we're going to be completely honest. And I'm so grateful that I've done it. Like, I've had a lot of help. I've had so much support from my husband. Somebody asked me, they're like, did he ever put you down? And I'm like, never once has my husband put me down about my weight, or said you need to lose weight, or said I was ugly. Not one time. As I've been obese. And by the way, my husband's been on this journey with me, and he looks so hot. I'm not going to lie. Like, he is so muscular, and people are always like, you look, like, are you a bodybuilder? Are you this, and we've been working on this together, and he's been so supportive of me. He knows not to, like, get on me about anything, because I will bite his head off. But he never has. Like, he's never put me down about my weight. He's always told me I was beautiful. And I'm grateful to him for that. And I'm so grateful to not be in pain anymore, and not get winded when I go up the stairs, not to be winded on my walks anymore. I feel a little bit like a little bunny rabbit. I still have no desire to run. I've had a life goal never to run a marathon, and I'm holding tight to that goal right now. Still, I still don't like running, but when I've had to run, it doesn't hurt. And I was thinking about it, because it's roughly 87 pounds. Little bit, about 87 pounds. And I picked up dog food for my dog, and I was like, 25-pound dog food. 25-pound dog food. Maybe it was 50 pounds. Anyway, I lifted them up and I'm like, I was carrying this for so many years and I'm not carrying it anymore. And so I'm really grateful for my health and my fitness and what it's done to my brain. And I don't look in the mirror and see a fat person anymore. A lot of times when people lose weight really, really fast, and truth be told, I had a weight loss surgery when I was 20. I was really heavy and I had a weight loss surgery and I lost weight so fast that time that I went through a lot of body dysmorphia because I lost weight fast and was able to keep it off. I was 20 when I was 20 when I had that done, and I was able to keep it off up until I turned 30, 31. So 10 years, I was able to keep the weight off, and I tried to work out and everything. And then I started having children and then it went all downhill from there as far as my health went. And I let it. But I found that it took me a long time. I had a lot of body dysmorphia in my 20s, the first couple of years, because I lost the weight so fast that I still would look in the mirror and see somebody who was fat. But because this go round, I did it really slow and really hard. The way I see myself, because I watched it go down so slowly, I don't have any body dysmorphia, which has been amazing. And so, and I swear, if some of you leave mean comments, don't be rude, because I'm putting my heart out there. But I'm so thankful for my health right now. And I'm so thankful for my weight loss journey and what it's taught me. So I went on way too long about that. Third thing I'm thankful for. I'm so thankful for you as listeners. I try to respond to the messages I get on Facebook. I just recently rediscovered that I can look at comments on Spotify if I log into the podcaster side, which I had done at the beginning. Then I totally forgot that I could do that. And I just rediscovered it. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I have lots of people to respond to you guys can't see the comments on that side, but I can see the comments on my side. There's some comments I can make public. Anyway, I'm still working out this whole technology thing. And even though it's been a year and 4 months since I started this podcast, that I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I could look in that section. Had no idea. Or if I did, I totally forgot that I could look in that section. Anyway, so I do my best to respond to the comments, and y'all have been so gracious to me and so kind. And I've loved hearing your stories and your experiences. I've loved, y'all have shared your fears with me. And like I said, I try my best to get back to people quickly. I do read all of the comments. Now I read all of the Spotify comments too, now that I figured out how to do that. And I'm proud of you, and I'm thankful for you sharing your lives with me. I'm amazed by your courage. I know how scary the transition into the homeschooling world is, and so many of you, I'm proud of you without sounding condescending. I'm really proud of you, and I'm thankful that you share your journeys with me. Like I said, if I haven't gotten back to you, please don't take it personally. I try to respond to everybody within a timely manner. So know that I legitimately pray for you, and I think about you, and anyway, I'm proud of you. I do have some exciting news. I've been asked about this. I've said no to this up until the last few weeks. My husband and I have been talking about it, like how much of a load can I take and all that good stuff. But I've avoided doing any more coaching, and finally I was like, I could start coaching. I was doing it for at the beginning. Anyway, so I have talked to my husband and we've worked out the schedule so I could do this, but I'm taking 3 one-on-one coaching clients. And so if that's something, if you're like, I would love for you to coach me, I'd love for you to hold my hand through this. I'll be offering in 6 sessions with 3 people, and they'd be individual sessions. They're not group sessions. I'm not to the point that I have to figure out the whole group coaching thing just yet. But if you are interested in having me coach you through your transition, or maybe you've already gone through the transition to homeschooling, but you want to work out other things to make it smoother, help the relationship with your kids, I am taking only 3 clients right now. If you're interested in a discovery call to see if it's even a good fit, it's no obligation. It's free. You can check the link below to sign up for on my Calendly and schedule a time that we can do a Zoom call together and discover if this is if it's a good fit for you to do that one-on-one coaching. So that's for those of you who are like, no, I need a little bit more than just the podcast. I'm opening that up, and I haven't done that, opened that up since I started the podcast. Anyway, so that link is below if you're interested. It's my Calendly link. It'll say Calendly link for a discovery call, something to that effect. But again, it's no obligation. We'll talk, see, every person's family has a unique situation. And I know your situation, is going to be different than your neighbors. And so I'd love to work through, find out what your situation looks like and see if I can help and see if it's a good fit. Anyway, so that link is below. Like I said, I'm only taking 3 because with my schedule right now, it's very limited. So I'm excited for that. But for those of you listeners, and the comments and the kind things that you've said, the reviews that you've left that have been kind, thank you, because it means a lot to me, especially as I put my heart out there all the time. And sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable, but here we are. So thank you for your grace with me. Next thing I'm thankful for, I'm really thankful for my family. I come from a very large family with mostly sisters. I have 1 brother and 6 sisters that are 6 sisters. Not all of my sisters are still living. I lost 1 sister a few years ago anyway, it was unexpected. She died of blood clot back in it was years ago. Very unexpected, very young. I'm so thankful for my family. I talk to my sisters almost on a daily basis, at least one of them. And then I have just really great kids and a really fantastic husband and really good in-laws who are very kind. I don't always agree with them, but it's okay. I don't always agree with my parents too. And my parents are both living. I'm so thankful for my family right now. Anyway, and my sweet husband who is so good to me. So that's the next thing I'm thankful for. And finally, the last thing I'm thankful for is I am thankful for a loving God. I don't shy away from talking about my faith. I try not to be overly didactic because I know for some people it's a little bit off-putting. But at the same time, it's part of my life. And it's not a little part of my life. It's a big part of my life. I'm very active in my church. But I am so thankful for a Savior who loves us despite our weaknesses and who offers so much grace. And so, again, if you are not a God-fearing person, that's fine. That's fine. But for me, I am. And right now he's something that I'm very grateful for Jesus and his goodness to my family. And even the trials that we're given because they make us strong. So with that, my friends, I hope your Thanksgiving is wonderful. I hope if you deal with hard during Thanksgiving, that you will be able to handle it with grace and gratitude as much as you can. With that, we'll talk about Hygge next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. You got this, mamas and papas, grandmas and grandpas. We'll talk next week. If you enjoyed this today, please like and subscribe. You could also join our private Facebook group at School to Homeschool or sign up for our newsletter at www.schooltohomeschool. Have a great day.